everyone, it's Saturday and welcome to a brand new episode of Let's Talk About It. So, you guys may have noticed that I am driving in this moment and I'm doing this vlog while I'm driving, so you gotta excuse me if I'm not watching directly in the camera too many times because, it could actually be dangerous. I am really late. I have an appointment tonight and this week has been so busy. I haven't had any time to record this episode, but of course I'm not gonna miss my Saturday appointment with Let's Talk About It. So here it goes. So today we're gonna talk about DJ sets and how to prepare the most awesome DJ set you can get. For example, you get that one gig that you really wanted for a while now and you're really just waiting to go on that stage and smash it, and you have those 2-3 days of preparation and you're like, yeah, whatever, I am preparing my DJ set. What does that actually mean? A lot of people I know don't prepare their DJ sets at all. And I don't think that's a totally negative thing, because one of the most important elements in a killer DJ set is improv. You can't have everything planned out. If you have everything planned out, people are gonna notice and there's not gonna be that surprise effect. And it's gonna be kind of boring. So I wanna tell you guys how I managed to get to play DJ sets that fully satisfied me and that I was really proud of. So I actually have like this little formula that I use to how to create the perfect DJ set. So let's talk about that. I want to give you guys a few tips on how to make your DJ set amazing. The first tip, which is crucial, is to understand what you want from your DJ set. What I do is I get a piece of paper, I get a pen, and I think, what do I want from my DJ set? And I start writing. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And oh my god, the sun is killing me. So the important thing is to memorize some keywords. I actually write them out. Of course, you can also remember them, but I think writing them out really helps you because you can check it out then and see if you're actually following your guideline. My keywords usually are energy, emotion, fun, and surprise. So what does this mean? This means that I want people to feel the energy, to feel emotional, to have fun, and to be surprised during my set. And again, these are my guidelines. They could be different for you. So once you've mapped out your keywords, once you know what you want your sets to be, you have to go and find the music genre. What's the music genre that suits you the most in that kind of event? Where should I go and find my tracks, my music for this event? Of course, here you have a big advantage if you're actually a producer and you have your own style, because that, of course, helps you a lot. But let's say you're not a producer. Let's say you're only a DJ. Or even if you are a producer, I'm sure this tip can help you. If you map out your genres, it gives you a clearer view of what your DJ set is gonna be and what are the tracks that you wanna play in that night. So for example, in my keywords, we talked about energy. So the question that I'm gonna ask myself is, where do I get energy? From what music genre can I get energy? And in my case, the answer would be probably big room EDM. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. We talked about emotions, and where can I find those emotions? What music genre gives me that type of emotion that I want my crowd to feel in that moment? And for example, for me, in a lot of cases, the answer to that is progressive house. We talked about fun. What music genre is fun? What music genre makes the crowd jump, makes the crowd have fun? And I don't know, it could be Melbourne bounce, for example. That's a music genre that makes people jump. That's a music genre that makes you have fun. And we talked about a surprise element. So if my set is all full of big room EDM, progressive house, and Melbourne bounce, what's gonna be the surprise effect? The surprise effect could be dubstep, for example. And again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that your DJ set has to be Melbourne bounce, progressive house, big room, and dubstep. those are just examples. Those are examples that work well with me, for example, but they could not be your cup of tea. If you are a techno DJ, I'm sure you won't be playing a lot of that Melbourne bounce in your set, of course. So just take them as examples. Try to understand the process, because the process is the same, and that really helps you. So we get to the third tip, which is probably the most important tip ever that people actually don't seem to understand. The third big tip is contextualization. What do I mean by this very complicated word? With contextualization, I mean that you have to get into consideration the context. Where am I playing? For who am I playing? Why am I playing? And the answer to these questions may differ from set to set, and that is so important. So, we're coming back. You may notice it's a little darker now, but the show must go on. So for example, an international DJ that has a world tour, he may go and play in Italy, and there's nothing better than a not Italian DJ playing in Italy and playing that track that we love to hear here in Italy and giving it obviously his style and his interpretation of that track. Of course, if you're watching this video, odds are you're probably not on a world tour right now, but that is just an example. What I mean by this is that you have to know who you're playing for, where you're playing, and why you're playing that certain venue in that certain event. When you know that, it's much easier to optimize your track selection. So for example, if I'm playing a small club gig, I will be playing certain songs that I won't be playing at a festival or at, I don't know, my cousin's wedding. And that's very important because a lot of DJs, they play some amazing sets, but in the wrong place, and a lot of the time they don't think about this little detail. And contextualization in a DJ set is actually very, very important. It will make an immediate positive effect when you're trying to get to the crowd in that certain way, when you're trying to give them what they want, but also a little bit of what they don't expect, because that's the magic of a DJ set. You always have to get that surprise element in. Otherwise, it's just gonna be boring. Fourth tip, which is kind of related with the other three, is don't be random. Don't try to play a gig where you pass from a music genre to the other just to please the crowd, because it won't work that way. You have to show the crowd who you are. You have to make them understand who is the DJ that is playing in front of them, and what is his style, and what does the DJ like. With that being said, these are just tips, and there's not a universal rule that actually makes your DJ set better. These are the tips that I use. And again, do not make your playlist like first, second, third, fourth, and fifth track, because that also won't work. Because I've done that so many times at the beginning when I started playing gigs, and by the third track, I wasn't following my playlist anymore. You have to select those 100, 200, 300 tracks that you like and that you think are right for that venue and that you think will make your DJ set an awesome DJ set. But you can't just plan your set out 100%, because odds are it's gonna start being boring, and you do not want that. I hope these tips helped you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk About It. And I want to remind you guys, the hashtag #AskRedoxx, comment on the video below or on whichever social network you want with this hashtag and with the question you want to ask, and I will be very happy to answer whichever question or whichever doubts you can have in your DJ experience in my next vlog of Let's Talk About It. So don't lose the next episode, which is going to be Saturday. If you guys want to send me your demo tracks, you can send everything on the email info@redoxxmusic.com. A lot of people already mailed me their track, and I gave every single one of you a feedback, and I hope that helped. And of course, remember, if you have that one question that you've always wanted to ask, shh,